Okay, hello everyone. I'm going to go through the rhythms in the first part of the new marching show, Time. This is the show that we'll use in the fall of 2018. If you need a refresher course and if you've never seen the rhythm circles, please go to my first two videos on my YouTube page. And this will explain the rhythm circles and how we use them to count and separate time and divide beats up into halves of a beat. So just go there and watch those videos and then come back to this one. Okay, so what I'd like to do is just go through the rhythms that I think are going to be difficult for you. And what I'll do is I'll explain each rhythm and then I will play a recording of the music and explain the rhythm even further while the music is playing. So this first rhythm that you see on the screen is, it starts with a half rest, which means you're going to be silent for 2 beats. So 2 beats of silence, and then you have 2 eighth notes right here. These 2 are eighth notes. That is going to be on beat 3 and then finally you have a quarter rest on beat 4. These first 2 beats they take up beats 2 or 1 and 2. And the way that I would like for you to count that is to subdivide that into eighth notes by saying 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now, obviously there's only going to be sound on beat 3, so if you hear the tempo, it would sound like this. 1, 2, ta ta. So there would be sound just on beat 3. Now let me play the part of the show where this is written. This is written for the baritone 1 and 2 part, which would be trombones and baritone, tuba, and bass guitar. So I'll let you hear this and I'll talk over this a little bit. So that's the repeated section at the beginning. That's A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So if you heard that bottom, the part that kind of sounds like Jaws, I'll play that one more time. 2, 3, and okay. I hope you heard that. So that's how you would play that first rhythm. The hard part about that is resting for the right amount of time and then coming in on that chromatic. Now remember, chromatic is playing a note and then playing the next note just a half step above that. So let's go to the next slide. Okay, so here's the next slide, and the only difference between this one and the last one is that we have a half note instead of a half rest, and that half note goes all the way through the first 2 beats. So again, that half note's going to be on 1 and 2 and, but now you're going to have sound. And last time, on the last slide, we had this rhythm instead of, so it was 2 eighth notes instead of an eighth note and a dotted quarter note. Remember, a dotted quarter note is going to be worth 3 eighth notes, so 1.5 beats. So that eighth note is on beat 3, but it's only half of a beat because a single eighth note is worth half of 1 beat. So this dotted quarter note right here is going to be worth 1.5 beats, but it starts on the end of 3 and goes for the rest of the measure. So instead of going da-da and getting off of the note, you're going to play it and hold it da-da off. Okay? The half note, you're just going to play all the way through to the first 2 beats. So anyway, let me show you where this is in the music. This would be played by the tenor saxophone, bari saxophone, baritone 1 and 2, tuba and bass part, and that would be in measure 10, 11, 12, 13. That would be in measure 14. So let me play this. 2, 3, there's B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, here it comes, 1, 2, 3, and 1. Okay, so we've listened to the first Basically, we've listened to the first half, or 30 seconds of the show. So let's go to the next slide. And then here we have a lot of eighth notes. And the cool thing about this is all of the syncopation. So the accenting in places where we would normally not accent. Again, we have everything divided up into halves of a beat. And we have rests on beat 2 and the and of 3. So we're not going to play in those two counts. Now I'm going to clap this and it would sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3. Sorry, let me do that again. 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and. Again, we're going to rest on 2 and the and of 3. Ta 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 ta. And this actually goes with the next slide. Let me go to that slide real quick. It goes with the next slide because they're played in measures 25 and 26. So this one, you're going to rest on beat 1, which is sometimes really hard to do, and then play on the and of 1 and 2. So let me clap this for you. 1 and 2, 3, 4. So if you put both of those measures together, it would be 1 and 3, sorry. 1 and 3, 4 and 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that half note is tied to a whole note into the next measure. So let me play this for you in the show. These are all just half notes, whole notes and quarter notes. There's that 3 and again. Here it is. 1 and 3, 4 and 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, off. So that's all I wanted to cover in this first video. I'm gonna separate the first show because this one's getting a little bit long. I'm gonna separate them from the beginning to D, and then the next measure, or I'm sorry, in the next video we'll have D to the end of part 1. Okay, so that's the first video. Thank you very much.